video, I'll be showing you how I maintain my parts while I give you tips on how you can maintain your parts. I know sometimes that is a difficulty for people who maintain their own locks. A lot of us want our parts to remain straight and pretty, especially when we're doing our updos or different styles like braids that really show your parts. We want our parts to look neat. Now this won't apply to everybody, but for those of you who want neat parts, straight parts, keep watching. Now my very first tip is to choose a retwisting agent that you like the best. That may be a gel, a pomade, an oil, a locking spray. In this video I'm using Locs Dreadlock Moisturizer. It's paraben free and sulfate free. Here's what the texture looks like. It is gooey. How do I describe the smell? It has like a fruity smell. It smells very, very nice. And yes, a lot of people are reluctant to use gels that look like this color because you're concerned about it leaving, whiteness in your hair. You don't have to worry about that if you're using an adequate amount. If you're using too much, that might be an issue, but a little goes a long way and it dries clear. So this is the gel that I'll be using throughout my retwist today. And I've used it a few times, so I can absolutely recommend it after trying it out a few times. So I did my retwist over a week ago. So at the end of this video, I will show you guys my roots so you can see how my retwist has held out over a week. I know a lot of times after a week, that's usually when people tend to get the most frizzy after they had their fresh retwist. So stay tuned to the end of the video and you can see how my retwist held up, and you can see if this is a gel you want to try. I have their information down below in the description box, so definitely click the link and go to their site and learn more about this particular gel. But quickly, I will say that the ingredients are distilled water, glycerin, aloe vera leaf juice, wheat protein, argan oil, lavender oil, YLANG oil, PVP, and naturally derived fragrance. So I really appreciate when I can pronounce the ingredients in the product. Now my tip number 2 is to take your time, especially if you're used to getting your locks retwisted by a professional and you want to, get your power back and maintain your locks yourself, or you're just starting out and you have baby locks and you want to do your own retwists. Take your time. Don't be discouraged. Sometimes it does take up to 2 hours, 2 hours and a half to do it yourself when you're first starting out. That's how long it took for me in the very beginning. Especially considering the time it takes to dip into the product and to apply the clips. That really does take a lot of the time in the retwisting process. So be patient with yourself and take your time. Also, when you're taking your time, you can feel around your root and you can really feel which hairs belong to which lock, because one thing that really causes your parts to become messy is when you put hairs from other locks into the other locks. So that really messes up the integrity of the part when hair that belongs here goes here. You know what I mean? So really take your time and feel out and gently just brush away the hairs that don't belong and gather the hairs that do belong so you can retwist those together. Tip number 3, don't wait too long in between retwists. Now I know that a lot of people are afraid to retwist too often because that causes thinning at the roots. Now, too often is a very relative term, so you want to find out what is too often for you. Personally, I retwist pretty much every 2 weeks, and that's been the case practically my entire lock journey. There have been times, especially in the summertime, when I would only retwist once a month, And that's because, you know, I'll be at the beach or at the pool, or I'll wash my hair more often, and I don't want to retwist it. But for the most part, I retwist my hair once every 2 weeks, and a lot of people would think that that's excessive. Maybe it is for some people, but I personally prefer to wash my hair every 2 weeks in general. So for me to keep a maintained and neat look, I have to retwist after every wash. That means 2 times a month, pretty much. And as you can see, my locks are long and strong, even though I've been retwisting every 2 weeks. So that's not too much for me. So you gotta find out what's too often for you, so you don't experience any adverse effects. However, waiting too long in between your retwists is what causes your roots to intertwine with the other locks, which causes your hair to marry at the root, or it just causes your parts to not be as straight as they once were. So try to maintain your locks more often if that is a concern of yours, and find your sweet spot as to what is too often and what's not. Tip number 4 to maintain straight, clear parts is to interlock. Now, I personally have only interlocked a handful of times in my life because I just prefer to maintain my hair more often. And as you may know, when you interlock your hair, you should not do it very often. Maybe 4 times a year would be enough, because you don't want to put too much tension on your roots. But for someone who doesn't need the hair to look sleek all the time, but you do want to keep your hairs where they belong, to keep your locks separate, to keep the integrity of your locks, interlocking might be your go-to. And if not necessarily just interlocking, you may want to use a crochet hook, which are available on my shop. And with the crochet hook, you can zoom in on problem areas where you have loose hairs and really hook the hairs into the lock so that they are trained and locked into the lock, so that there's no confusion as to where that hair belongs. I do not personally have a tutorial on how to use crochet hooks because I personally haven't mastered it to my liking to make a video for you guys on it. However, there are a couple of videos that I would recommend on YouTube from other YouTubers, and I'll have them down below. So check the description box down below if you want to see some tutorials on using a crochet hook. And remember, you can get your crochet hook from my shop, KeishaCharmaine.com. And my apologies for my voice. I don't know if you guys can hear it. It's going in and out. Just like this weather has been going in and out. My apologies. Everybody stay healthy out there. And tip number 5 is my last tip. This may be for extreme cases only. If when you started your locks, the person who started your locks or you didn't really care about parts and now you do, I recommend that you go to a professional to have them straighten out your parts. This could be a little bit painful. They are gonna have to use a comb, and they may have to, you know, be a little rough and take certain hairs out from one lock to another to keep your parts straight. And if that's important to you, then that is an option that you guys can have. You can go to a professional, have them straighten out your parts. And then once they have done that, then you can use the other steps that I mentioned above to really maintain and keep your parts straight throughout the duration of your lock journey. So now I will show you all my parts, my roots, after retwisting it over a week ago with Lion Locs Dreadlock Moisturizer. By the way, this is an 8-ounce jar, if you're wondering, so you're getting a lot of product. This is gonna last you a long time. So, okay. I really hope I was in the frame. able to tell that my roots are still pretty maintained. They're still, I would still consider this a fresh retwist. I do need to oil my scalp, and I will do that after I mist it with my herbal mist mix, which comes out really soon. Stay tuned. Make sure you're on my mailing list. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. Make sure you're subscribed to this channel so you guys can learn when that drops. But yes, my roots and my hair still feels like it's freshly retwisted. I have gone to the gym twice since it, 2 times or maybe 3 times since my hair was retwisted. All I do at the gym is put on a scarf and while working out, when I take it off after, and that's really all I need to do. And I do sweat, okay? And my hair is still in place, so everything checks out with Lion Locs. Okay, so I definitely recommend that you check them out. Is it gonna focus? Come on. There we go. Thank you, Lion Locs, for sponsoring this video. Everything checks out, as you guys can see. Thanks for watching. Love, light, and locks. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and remember to subscribe. You can always visit www.keishacharmaine.com for hair growth products, hair accessories, and more. But don't leave just yet. Check out my featured video and my latest video.